sexy.
Kindness is sexy.
Kiss. Kindness is sexy.
Kindness is sexy.
Hi, it's Mary Ellen O'Neill Madeley with KIS, Kindness is Sexy. And tonight I'm here with Shakir at Georgian College, and we're talking about the different events that he's organized, all for charities throughout Barrie, Ontario. The first one is Glam It Up Barrie, and the reason I want to talk about that is because that's where you and I met, and that was several years ago. I believe it was 6 years ago now. And I was hoping that you could tell me about Glam It Up Barrie, why you started it, and what it was about.
Glam It Up Barrie came to me in 2012 when I was just getting into photography as a photographer, and I was surrounded with so many hairstylists, makeup artists, and photographers. So I chose to bring them together, and I wanted to do something for a charity organization. So I thought, why don't we get all of them together, make it a charity event, support their small business, and get people to get glammed up, build their portfolio. And it's a win-win situation in three aspects. So portfolio,
Yes.
charity, and small business connect.
Oh, but we forget about the fact also that it was something in my daughter's, in my case, it was all about self-esteem for us and for a lot of the people who attended.
Absolutely.
That was huge for me because at that time, my daughter was struggling with self-esteem, and it was the most incredible event, and it did so much for her.
Yeah.
And then in turn, it did so much for me because it made me feel so good for her.
Like how people feel when they go out, get their hair done, get their makeup done,
Yeah.
get their photos done. It's an incredible feeling.
And you did it for the Women and Children Shelter.
Yes.
You also, there was another charity that you included with that,
Yes.
Seasons for Grieving Children.
That's correct. Season Center for Grieving Children and Women and Children Shelter. So whatever we raise, we do half and half between both the charities, and both the charities are very close to my heart.
And they are definitely close to mine as well. My daughter was part of Seasons. My son went in for a bit when their grandfather passed away, and that was
Yes.
a really big aspect for us. My husband and I were going through a lot.
Yeah.
And people don't understand, charities really need your help at all times.
Mhm.
We've gone through this whole COVID lockdown. People, they don't have jobs, or their jobs have been cut, their hours have been cut because of COVID, but the charities still need the help. So somehow we always have to find a way to continue helping them. You inspired me. I don't know if I told you,
Oh.
I think I might have, but you inspired me to do the very first prom for Youth Haven.
Oh wow.
And that was, I raised $10,000, and we ended up getting $40,000 worth of services for free for the youth at the youth shelter here in Barrie. And it was all because of you. If you hadn't have done Glam It Up, it wouldn't have dawned on me. I know it wouldn't have. And that night was so incredible. The kids looked amazing.
Yes.
The hairstylists, they were phenomenal. The makeup artists. We had Megan Blade from Loved Again, downtown Barrie. It's a bridal shop. She donated the prom dresses.
Yeah.
There was another company that donated tuxes. They donated shoes. They donated accessories. It was just incredible. I couldn't believe how many people got involved. And you can't even imagine what it feels like to be a youth with no place to live, but being able to have a night where you just looked amazing. We talked about Glam It Up Barrie, but I wanted you also to talk about the other events that you do. And I know that there's one that I have always wanted to go to, and unfortunately I always had to work, but that was your MisBehaving. And there's a really good reason why that's a good one for women to go to.
So MisBehaving came to me in 2015, just an idea of another way of getting all the small businesses together in Barrie. So all the guys who own small businesses, I wanted to bring them together. They were able to bring something from their business to donate for the charity, and how about bringing ladies to bid
Bid on the men, technically. I'm just
Exactly.
saying.
on their service package. It was for C.O.P.E service dogs.
And I love Cope service.
Yes. So another charity close to my heart.
Yeah.
I love what they do, so I wanted to do something for them. MisBehaving came in mind, and the charity was right there. we collaborated, and every year we have been supporting club service dogs since then.
And it works well because really dogs are always misbehaving. And and this event, I have several of my male friends who are part of the event. Whole event, it starts usually around 5 o'clock. And is there dinner? Because like I said, I haven't been able to go.
So it's a beautiful evening where everyone gets to network with each other. There are like about 100, 150 ladies who attend the event. They get to network with the guys, what they do. There's small business in Barrie.
There are
there's like a cocktail
artists,
party.
there are photographers,
Yes.
there are firefighters.
Different professions. Absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely a very interesting evening for sure.
I mean,
So you have a Facebook page, you have a website.
Yes, all these events have their own Facebook page. So Glam It Up Barrie has their Facebook page, MisBehaving Barrie has it, and both the events come under Beyond Giving. So Beyond Giving is the organization which runs these two events. So we have our own committee who gets together every year and plans these events and go out to collab.
That's awesome. I'd love you to tell me how much money you've raised. I know that I've been to several of your events and I know how much they raised in those ones, but you actually have more than MisBehaving and Glam It Up Barrie.
And I host my birthday parties every year.
That's right.
So when I host my birthday parties, I ask all my friends a donation for Rainbows for Children Canada. That's the fourth charity which I've been supporting for almost like 4 or 5 years now.
And that's a great charity.
Yes.
I know that one well as well.
So if we like calculate all the charities together with all the events, I would say $33,000
That's awesome.
over the last 5, 6, 7 years.
And you know, the great thing is that they're all charities that are really important, they're different. So C.O.P.E service dogs, they help with children with autism, children that may be in wheelchairs. They work with adults that are confined to wheelchairs, people who are blind. There are a lot of different people that benefit from that charity. Seasons Center for Grieving Children is for children who have lost a family member, whether it's a mother, a father, a sister, an uncle, someone who lived in their family, and it helps them through all of the challenges, all of the pain. They have a room where they throw paint at a wall. They have these beautiful handprints that all the kids put their handprints on the walls, and they can always go back and remember that these are the people that helped them. The Women and Children's Shelter, we all know what the Women and Children's Shelter is about. Families, women who have left and for whatever reason, and they have nowhere to go and they have children with them. It's really an important shelter. Everybody needs to remember that all of these charities really desperately need our help at all times. And I think these events, they not only do they raise money and do great things that way, but they raise awareness at the time that you're doing the event and the whole time that you're advertising for it. It raises awareness. Just incredible to see all of the different charities that you have helped.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the kindness aspect that I love, is that it reminds people to look up and investigate what this charity needs. And then it puts it in the forefront once again. The thing that people forget is that when you're struggling, no matter what's happening in your life, you go and do something, whether you volunteer for one of your events, donating to one of the charities that you're doing an event for,
Exactly.
or attend the event. So attending the event, when you do the Glam It Up, people go in, they pay for an entire day. Glam It Up Barrie isn't just about getting your photos done. You get your hair done, you get your makeup done, you have electrolysis, you have, for the men, there's shaving, there's
Facials.
yeah, and there's henna. There are all these different things that are at that event, and they're vendors, so they have that chance to promote their products, and it's a win-win for everyone. And the kindness just keeps on going because all those people, they donate their time. So all the photographers, all the makeup artists, the DJ, everyone, they donate their time, and in doing that, they're giving back, and that means more money toward the charities.
Absolutely.
So what was the reason that you decided to start? First, we'll start with Glam It Up Barrie. What was the reason that you started that?
So I always wanted to give back to community, Maryland, but I never had a chance to do it in the right way, where it can create an impact in the community. So all the aspects of it. With Glam It Up Barrie, I was able to bring up all the small businesses. I was able to bring people out to socialize, to network with these businesses, and create an awareness to all those small businesses, to all those people about the season center for Grieving Children and Women and Children Shelter. So that was a huge impact on the community as well as awareness created for the charity organizations.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the best things about doing things like that. When it comes to setting things up, you've always had this great connection with Barrie. I think people just gravitate to that. They gravitate to people who are willing to give back, people who are willing to bring something forward, whether it's awareness, whether it's organizing an event or whatever. And everybody feels good. I don't know anyone who doesn't do an event and feel good about it at the end of it, no matter what happens.
When you host something, whatever the result is, to be honest, everyone is very happy with the result that actually they were able to do something for the community.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many times when, especially with Glam It Up Barrie, how many times people shared the photos and they use them for their profile pics because the photos ended up being free. So you can use them for your social media. I can't tell you how many of them I've used for mine. And the photographers were so good, and there's such wonderful people. Not only do you organize these events, but I seem to recall a certain individual who had very long hair. And you kept growing it, and actually, you really do have gorgeous hair. And you had it cut, and you donated it.
So this also started in 2014. It just came to my mind, I have amazing hair, why don't I grow them and donate it to someone who is in need? So 15, 16, 17, in 3 years, I was able to grow like almost 13 inches.
Yeah, it was long.
Yeah, the requirement was 11 inches, so I did donate my hair to cancer patients under 19 for the wig at no cost.
That's amazing. My daughter did that at 10 years old.
Yeah.
She had hair down to her bum, and she donated 14 inches in the back and 12 inches on the front.
That's amazing. So that's a very good way of giving back. Any part of your body which you can give back the way, that is the most amazing way you can help someone in this life. I am planning on doing it again. Maybe in next 2 or 3 years, I'll start growing them again. It takes me 3 years.
I was just going to ask you how long.
Yeah, just 3 years, 3 to 4 years, and I'm good to go.
That's fantastic. Yeah, because you start from much shorter than what my daughter started. She always had long hair. In our community, we have a lot of people who are extremely giving. And I am truly thankful to be friends with so many of them.
Yeah.
And I am so thankful that you and I became friends, because
Absolutely.
there's a lot of things that, like I said, you inspired me to do. Not only do you do all these charity events, but you also have another aspect that you cover under a specific culture. And I wouldn't mind if you would just tell me some more about that, because I see your pictures and I absolutely love everything that comes with that.
Yes, it is Barrie Indian Association. So under that association, what we do is we bring culture to the city, let my Canadian friends adapt the culture, create a diversity, and foster growth of the culture in Barrie. So we have been doing that since 2012, and it has been a great experience. Bringing the food, music, fashion, tradition.
Fashion, oh my
Yes.
gosh, I love the fashion.
And more than my Indian friends, my Canadian friends love those events, and they attend it. They love the food, they love the music, and they're like, Shakir, when is the next event? So.
And there's one that you do with the colors.
Yes, it's called as Holi. So in Holi, people come in, they play with colors all day long.
Yeah, and everyone they become that color. I think I've been afraid to go to that one.
The colors are very protective. They're the white products. They're not going to harm you.
Oh, well,
It's
that's good to know.
It's just fun. Yeah.
Because I really did. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. So now I think I'm going to be coming out to that one.
Absolutely.
People don't realize how important, even if you're not a business owner, how important attending these events are, or volunteering at events. It doesn't matter whether you're just volunteering, whether you're attending, whether you're standing at a booth helping to sell something. Every time that I've gone to different events, I always found something really, really positive and really good that would come out of it. But at one of your Glam It Up events, I ended up finding a job while I was looking for a position, and it was just a contract one, but I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, talking to the right people. And I think that when people realize or understand how many things that you can get out of one of these events that has nothing to do with being a business owner, then they'll remember, oh, you know what? I should get out there. I should network. And especially because the COVID lockdowns have kept people inside, once these events start, I really do encourage everyone to try to get to one or two, at least one or two in a year, because it will boost your self-esteem just being out and talking to people. Each one of your events that you have done, unfortunately, have been paused due to COVID.
Yes.
What is your plan, and which ones are you planning to start with, and when are you thinking of it?
So under the banner of Beyond Giving, we would like to do Glam It Up Barrie and MisBehaving Barrie next year.
That would be fantastic.
Those will be just purely networking, socializing, giving back to the community, raising funds for the charity kind of events. Under Barrie Indian Association, it's all about culture, food, music, fashion. So there will be 4 events happening next year. There are Diwali, Lohri, Holi, and Navratri.
That's fantastic. The reason that I brought up those other ones is because people forget to be kind to those who come in from another country. Those people have left everything behind in their country, come to another country. They don't completely speak the language. They might, but they don't completely speak it. They don't have the culture. They don't realize certain things that are so different from their country when they come here. And it's very lonely when you come to a new country. And I think that if people really did take the time to learn more about the culture by coming to one of your events, the more they learn, the more you love it. You just love seeing all the colors, seeing how much fun it is just to let loose and listen to music that's completely different from what you grew up with.
Yeah.
And to remind yourself that it's really, really important being kind to those who are new, who have so much to learn, maybe helping them learn would be such a beautiful thing, and it makes you feel amazing. Trust me, I can't tell you enough about how fantastic you feel when you give back or just do something kind for somebody else. I wanted to ask you about your experience when you came to Canada. People, just so that people know how hard it is when you first come here and what you have to do to get through. You came to Georgian College, which is why we're here today. You came here for 3 years, you said, and I would love to know what you had to go through to get through college in those years.
That's like 10, 12 years ago, Marilyn, but thank you for asking that question. It was very challenging. Just to come from India to this country where you know no one, leave everything at the back, bring whatever you have, get the education, get a job, and stay here in this country. It's kind of challenging. I came here, I did my business degree, and I worked at Golden Riddle as a server for 5 years, and that's how I paid my tuition at Georgian College.
So you worked long hours there, then you came here doing your studies all day long, and did you live on your own? Were you boarding
Yes.
somewhere?
Yes, so I lived on my own, just on boarding tribe for 5 years, the first 5 years.
And you also told me something about the difference between a Canadian attending college here and someone who comes and who is an
So
international student.
Yeah, so international students pay 3 times the fee of Canadian students.
So you still have to come with that
Yes.
or find a way to pay that
Exactly.
while you're here.
Yes.
And it's long, it's a lot of hours, it's a lot of work, but what was it that made you choose to come here?
So the program at Georgian College was really good, what I was looking for, and that's why I chose Georgian College.
Oh, that's awesome. Kudos to Georgian College for that.
Absolutely.
Your parents, so I met your parents at Glam It Up. I believe it was the second last one that you had.
2018, yes.
Yeah, and they are the cutest couple. So I just wondered, do you get to see them? Do you get to see them like once a year? Do you get to see them often? How does that work? And especially with COVID, what happened?
So after 2018, they actually visited me this year, so they are with me right now.
Oh, I'm glad. That's awesome.
For the past 5 months, but they are heading to California after this. My sisters live in California.
Oh gosh, they're all over the place.
Yes, yes. And after that, they might come back, or they might go to India. I don't know.
So, and how many times a year do you see them though, usually?
So I saw them after 2018 now, so 4 years later. 19, 20, 3 years later, yeah.
That's a long time to be without your parents. Well, I really want to thank you for taking the time. I know you're so busy. Like, that's one of the things that we've tried to set this up several times, but I'm so thankful you took the time tonight, even though it's kind of rained a little bit on us, just a tiny bit.
Thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Thank you. And I hope that everyone remembers when Glam It Up Barrie happens again, and it will in 2022. When it happens and when MisBehaving happens, that people come out and attend and donate or volunteer, whatever it is you need. And I look forward to seeing everybody there and seeing all your photos. And don't forget, kindness is sexy.
Kindness
and so
is sexy.
And so is Shakir and his long hair.
God.
Watch for the long hair.
I was sexy, not anymore.
Stop. Thanks, everyone, and have an amazing night.
Kindness is sexy.
Kindness is sexy.
Yes.